G'day Hexes, Havoc here, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the website HEX PvP Tools, a very good resource if you're wanting to get into constructed or even limited, or even just looking at the history of tournaments, all that sort of good stuff. You've got many things on the website, you've got card performance, you've got all that sort of stuff, but today we're going to focus on limited, but I will quickly just show some of the stuff the website does have to offer. So you've got, for example, constructed. So again, if you are wanting to jump into constructed, a good place to start is to just find out what sort of decks are in the meta, and a good way to do that is to go to the history here for constructed and look at the bash tournaments, as they're the tournaments people are going to bring their real decks to, as they are cash tournaments. So you can look at the last bash, see who entered and all the different decks and different stats and all that sort of good stuff. So you can easily just click on the player name to find their decks, but today we're going to be looking at limited. So I'm going to be doing basically what I just did there, but I'm going to go look to the limited tab, and look to history, and what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the clash history. Now how do I do that again? There it is over here. So we want to look at the previous clash that just happened. Now what we're going to do here is we're just going to look at, we can obviously see, that there's all the good decks. There's a lot of good decks here. Like, we can take a look at Neo's deck here and see that he opened a lot of insane stuff. And, there's not really much to be said, These people who get to the top 8, they're going to have good decks. So you can see here he's got Bride of the Damned. Whoops. Got Bride of the Damned there. You can, it's just loading pretty slow. My internet is a bit flooby. Let's just unclick that. So yeah, a lot of good cards in there. But we're not here to look at the good decks. You can do that in your own time if you like. But what we're going to do here today is we're going to look at the decks that didn't do too well and see if there's anything that I'm just going to go by my opinion, if there's any mistakes that these players made, things that we can learn from ourselves. So, if you are someone who's new to HEX and you're wanting to jump in the clash, well, maybe you can learn from their mistakes. Again, these are just my opinions. So, I might say, oh, this person's done that wrong, and I'm not trying to shit on anybody or anything like that. Again, these are just my opinions. So yeah, we're going to just go down to the bottom. I guess a lot of the ones at the bottom there are going to be people who just maybe lost the first round and dropped for the most part. But we're just going to go from the bottom here, and we'll go through as many as I can in, say, 10 minutes. And this is something I'm going to do pretty much after every clash each week. I'll probably try to have a video doing a similar thing. So I'm going to try to be quick through each deck. I'm not going to really analyze their deck. We'll see what they've got. So in this case, we've got some decent removal, couple dingles there, not a whole lot of troops really. Decent spider generation thanks to double periphegy and all that. But is this a deck I've already looked at? I'm not sure. I looked at a few of them already. Either way, let's go have a look at the reserves and see if there's anything that stands out in those colors that the player should have potentially been running. So in terms of Sapphire, we'll start there. It's going to be a little bit slow, it seems. It doesn't want to load. Do I need to click? My internet's just been slow, it seems. So what? Another thing we can do is analyze. Was he even in the right colors? But very likely. But the Sapphire is not all that strong, really. It's just possible that he just got a bad pull. It is a bit, the interface, I can't really change it to make this better, and for some reason hovering over cards isn't changing, so maybe that's not working for this page. But honestly, there's not a whole lot there that stands out for this pull. So it's possible that cards here just opened a bad pull. So let's just go on to the next one. Look at Jinsaku. And hopefully the mouse over will start working properly. We'll see. So what do we got here? Is this a splashing ruby for these three, I guess, and for a Psionic Flame as well. Alright, let's see if that was... What champion? So we did go Uzu. So now, the benefit of going Uzu with this sort of thing here is the fact that, this card and this card, you just grab the ruby if that's what you need at this point, and you can play those. But the Feed the Flame, and both of these are something you don't need to play early. So that's perfectly valid to do this, but was it necessary? Let's see if they were really... Oh, wow, look at there's a Heart of Ember straight off the bat. But so, a lot of cremates. Let's just have a look at the ruby here. So not a whole lot in Ruby, obviously. Yeah. So in terms of the Blood Sapphire, let's just have a quick look to see. You know, Concuss is okay. I'm not a huge fan of Power and Pain. Underwater Oppression. Let's have a look here. How many Underwood troops does he have? Botanist Deadeye. Cultivator. I mean, quite a few actually. Underwater Oppression is something he could have possibly run here. That may have been better. So let's have a look. Well, Jamirabot's good. These are all pretty good. Rider's a bit lackluster, but it's okay. Shaman's great. No, Paladin is good if you're many colors. In this case, it's just 3 health, so it's kind of lackluster. It is. Why is this mouse over not working? None of it's working. You know what? I think I know why. It's because I'm capturing it in Internet Explorer. That's very light. Oh, now it works. What? I don't know. This is weird. Either way, so let's go back to the reserves here. So, wow, 3 seers. You know what? How many actions were here? I guess there's not a whole lot, is there? Coal? Is that it? Wow, okay. There's Coal, Deep Freeze, Windborne. So not a whole lot of actions at all, which does definitely hurt. So the Cyclone Shaman gets affected by that as well. Yes, that's a bit fluey, so that makes those worse as well. Now there is the Concuss that he could run. Rune here, nice. You know what? Let's have a look at the wild here. So I did say I wanted to try and make this like a 10-minute video. I'm going to spend all time on just one day. But yeah, let's look at the wild here. So we've got 3 lackeys, which is a fantastic card. We've got Sylvan Performer, Lyricist, Nightstar Stargazers, Runeir, War Bunny. You know what? So what is the Sapphire? What you want to look at is obviously what's each color bringing to the table. So the Sapphire here is not bad with, you know, 2 cultivators are nice. What's the blood bringing? You know what? The blood, really at the end of the day, I mean, Ritualist is not bad, especially with the cultivators. Yeah, you know what? This player probably should have been in Wild. Just a lot of, you know, so if you want, you could have went, you know, you could have went like Winter Moon, Sapphire Wild, just, you know, get the Winter Moon value in there. Would have probably been, yeah, is there enough? Still not really any actions, is there? But, so, you know, the Seers, they're great 1-drops as well, if you've got the actions to support it. There's a Battle Prep. Exalted Professor that wasn't being run. Huh. That's, damn it, keep trying to... That's curious. So yes, Exalted Professor, in, you know, even that is a Sapphire Blood, in a Sapphire Blood deck can have speed. But, yeah, I mean, I think the Sapphire Wild here would have been better. I mean, the Blood's not horrible. Now I'm looking at down there. What am I doing? Yeah, the Blood's not horrible, but it's also nothing too fantastic. These with speed are good. But, yeah, my recommendation for this sort of pool here probably being, I mean, yeah, Wild something, you know, Wild Sapphire, just Winter Moon adds a lot. But anyway, that's a bit too long sitting and talking about one deck. Let's go on to the next one, shall we? So yeah, I mean, 3 Eager Lackeys is sweet. So let's look at cats. What do we got here? You got to remember, with, you know, they're you know, a lot of people who do just lose their first round, which could just be you know, I mean, one person has to win, right? And doesn't mean the deck was bad. I do think the previous one though could have had some improvements in my opinion. So what do we got here? A lot of shenanigans. All right, so the player is running Wild. Bloodspinner is the champion. Now, actually, let's look at the champion first. So the champion is really just working with the puffballs and the spring litter. Decent. I mean, this is decent stuff. But let's have a look at what this pool has to offer. So there's a lot of diamond I see here, but it's also a lot of poopy diamond. So, you know, Duskwing Shepherds are not great. Hallowed Radiance is bad. Got an Empress of Ice in there and Sapphire, but there doesn't seem to be enough Sapphire. Consult the Talent's really nice though. But let's go back here a second. So what's the weaker color out of these two? So, honestly, the player is going pretty heavy on the Dreadling plan with, you know, you get the War Bunny, the Puffballs, and the Botanist that generate, and then the Champion power to generate. Which is not horrible, but it's you're not really utilizing those two to the fullest, really. Let's see if there's a way we could potentially pair this wild up with something else. I don't think so. So the diamonds, you know, nothing special. The sapphire, sadly, is... Well, there's a cultivator there. Sadly, only just one. Only one sapphire teardrop, so... Yeah. Got some cripples. Got the Empress. Arachnament is really nice. If you do go that the banner champion, though. Yeah, so the sapphire is sadly just not enough. So what could be done differently here? Yeah, I mean, it's honestly not a great pull, so it just happens, you know? It just happens. Like, I'm not really saying anything that stands out, like, yeah, I should have went this, so... What he went was okay. Not really much to learn from that, I think. I may be missing something, but we don't have all day, so let's go on to the next one, shall we? What do we got? Seroth. I guess what I should also be doing is looking at how many shards they're running. There's a way to see that easier. Let's see if we can do this, can't we? Alright. That's fine. So what do we got here? Ruby Wild. Some nice troops here. So Sagebrush. Yeah, so there's the thing, I think the first mistake that I already noticed. Now the reason why I checked that instantly is because I see two Blight Bushes. So these are fantastic cards when you pair them with Fariko. Because when they die, you know, they turn into 1/1s, and then you can later turn those 1/1s into 3/3s. Which, you know, and Sagebrush is honestly pretty lackluster. Fariko is the first thing this player should have done differently, in my opinion. Let's have a look what else they've got here. So what has their Ruby got to offer? A bit of aggression, a bit of removal. Transmuters are not bad. Savist is okay. So honestly, the Ruby is kind of mediocre. Let's have a look at the reserves here now, because first thing I would, you know, if it was me, I would want to pair, you know, just, you know, if the second color, which is Ruby here, is a bit lackluster, you want to try and get in with Sapphire if you can, because Winter Moon is just that good. But it looks like the Sapphire might... Oh, no, it is good enough. So, yeah, the Sapphire is definitely good enough here. So, first of all, let me just point out, we've got a Tongue Breeder down here, which is a nice card advantage 1/4, so it can defend, but every time as long as it's on the board, it's going to keep drawing you more cards. Good removal over here, but then we've also got Lanapor's Sight, which is very good card advantage. You've got double Cyclone Rider, which is okay. We've got, I thought I saw, yeah, an Evaporate over there, and Arcane Focus. These are all good cards in Winter Moon. We've got Cultivator. We've got an Aerialist, which is not bad. So yeah, I mean, you know, again, I'm looking at Sapphire first just because of how good Winter Moon is. And there are some pretty good cards in there, so let's count up the Ruby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've replaced 9 Ruby. We got Evaporate, Focus, 1, 2, potentially Dingle. So 1, 2. Now there was the Shekel. Let's scroll down here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What else we got? 7, and then yeah, you could run Suffocate, you could run a Cultivator, Aerialist for sure. So there's definitely enough cards there. So Seroth here. Yeah, Sagebrush, not a champion I recommend. It just doesn't bring enough to the table where, you know, especially compared to something like Fariko that can end stalemates and change games very easily. But the Ruby, in my opinion, not bringing enough to the table here. Just, yeah, not really enough. So yeah, Winter Moon just is very good as well. So Sapphire Wild there is an option. Still could go for Rico, but you know, if you're going to be in Sapphire Wild, generally you're gonna want to go Winter Moon just because it's just that good. But not really super necessary in this deck, but they're both two options there. The blood here is also not the worst. Then again, just not really great. You know, there's no troops over here. Yeah, the blood's whatever. So yeah, I would have went with that one. I would have went Sapphire Wild. So let's move on to the next one, shall we? So what do we got? We got Jeff. Let's see what he's got here. So Blood Sapphire. So very, very nice curve here. We've got a lot of 2-drops. Some very nice cards. So we got well, a lot of card draw in there. Ooh, Magistrate is super sexy. Dark of Night's really good. Got a Grauk at the top end. So really the deck is basically topping out at 4. As long as you got a troop on the board that's equal to or the same damage to the highest damage troop, then these are going to be 3 cost. And the Grauk is just, you know, whatever. So what do we got here? Let's have a look. So yeah, very, very aggressive. Why am I clicking that? So Sapphire Blood, let's have a look. Huh. So, not too sure why he's not running Aerialist. Come on, pop up. Show me the card. There it is. Wait, it's loading. Come on. So Aerialist, very good card, and especially when you've got a very aggressive deck. This, it's possibly just didn't see it, but in my opinion, that's something he should be running. Lots of low drops, lots and lots of low drops. So let's actually have a look. So he's got double Infiltrator, which is super nice. Double Zealot, super nice. Deadeyes, he's got 3 of, which, I mean, they're good. Don't really need 3 of them. But yeah, I mean, again, he's got loads of 2-drops, so he should be running a card with this Soul, especially a 3/4 flyer. What else we got here? Let's go down. Work our way up. So we've got Shardsworn, really good value card, and in Sapphire Blood you can make it so when a troop enters your opposing crypt, the Shardsworn itself, the Dwarf, which sadly is that working? Come on. Come on. There we go. So, and that you can put the gem in there, so when a troop, you know, and then you're basically getting 2 troops, and this you can turn into a 3/1, which is nothing great, but still good value. Oh, Skittering Cultivator as well. Oh, okay, here's something. Call the Grave should 100% be in this deck. So the reason I say 100% should be in there is there's just so many really good cards to get back, but you got this really bomb of a card right here. Tribunal Magistrate, if I can get it to actually display. Next time I'll make sure to do this on in Chrome. So yeah, Tribunal Magistrate is a super big bomb that can win games by itself. Just sits on the board, massive defense, very hard to remove, and can just add spiders non-stop. So if your opponent does manage to remove this, you're going to get spiders in the deck while they do that, right? So let's say they have to use 2 cards to kill this, or you block and they then kill it. And then, you know, so you're adding spiders. Maybe you've added a bunch already. Having Call the Grave to get that back, yeah, it's definitely something I would have had in there. So what would we cut? Why am I clicking Show Sockets? I want to see that. I want to see this. So, whoa, okay. That's a lot of resources right there. In a very aggressive deck, yeah, I wouldn't run that many. Obviously, that's, I mean, I know that's a preference of Jeff's to run. I guess he just sticks to 18 no matter what, and that's, you know, that's, everyone has their own thing, right? That they prefer. For this deck, you know, I think it's a mistake. Again, my opinion. So yeah, I would take out 2 shards. I'd run 16 in this, no worries. I may even cut the Grauk and just go more aggressive. And, you know, he's got lots of spider generation, but I'd definitely be cutting 2 shards. First thing I'd bring in is Aerialist and Call the Grave. They're the definite things that should be in the deck, in my opinion. If the Grauk comes out as well, you could add Shardsworn, you can add Cultivator. Yeah, several, I mean, even Cyclone Riders are okay. But yeah, the main 2 are the ones I just said, the Aerialist and the Call the Grave. You can make the deck really aggressive. Hell, you could take out the Grauk. Go down to 15 shards in this deck if you wanted. Potentially just and just run all the 2-drops. But especially when you got this much card draw, probably actually would take out 1 Cannibalize, run the Hunger and yeah. So I'd cut Cannibalize, probably cut Grauk, cut 2 shards, and that would allow me to bring in several things. Which I'd bring in I'd bring in the Shardsworn maybe, Cultivator definitely, because it's just, you know, really good defender, but also just nice to attack with and get Dreadlings. It can get some early damage in there. Works well with the Assault on the Aerialist, and then, you know, Call the Grave is a must-have. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything else is great. That's a lot of good stuff. But obviously he lost first round, so he decided to quit, and that's, you know, again, something a lot of people do, and I do it a lot also. Let's have a look at a couple more. So what do we got? So we got Wild Blood. Decent stuff. So Blood Spinner as well. So so Blood Spinner's okay. It's okay here, but let's have a look. So Wild Blood, let's have a look. Yeah. You know what, Fred, if I probably should message Fred and maybe suggest a way in which we can, you know, similar to how you can change the way this is displayed, a way to change that, or just change the colors in this section would actually be really nice. I'm actually going to message Fred. Fred is the one who made this awesome website. Yeah, a way to just, you know, filter out. Maybe there is a way and I just don't know it. It's definitely possible. Would make it easier to analyze stuff like this, but a lot of Ruby cards here. Double Transmuter, Boomsmith, blah blah blah. A lot of Blight Bushes again. Yeah, I mean, Furiko is just really good champion power. Maybe he would be better off with Furiko here as well. Maybe. He does have some scrounge, but yeah. I just don't know if there's enough of a payoff for the... I mean, if the Eremite sticks around, sure, you can keep getting that heal and damage in a turn. It's not horrible, but it is just one. You know, if there's more of them, then yeah, that's fine. But Sylvan Performer not being ran, is there enough? No, I guess there's not enough. So the rubies and all, I mean, it's okay, but yeah, not good enough, I guess. The diamond, it's a bit hard to tell, but yeah, not enough here. Sapphire, yeah. So overall, it does seem like not that great of a pull. So, you know, I'll just assume that this is decent enough. I would maybe with this deck go for Rico again, just to help, because yeah, Rico is pretty damn good. So let's have a look at Metronome, and then that'll be enough for now. But, ooh, some nice cards there. Definitely like Refugee, Dark of Night, Cyclone Shaman's really nice. Double Power and Pain I don't like. Double Dingle. Wait, did I already look at this deck? I guess somebody else did something similar earlier. Vampire Prince is nice. We got a zombie over here. Okay, so he must have been lacking in low drops. Got a Librarian, which is nice. So obvious that, yeah, going into the... he's got double Evaporate, so not too bad. Power and Pain is... it's not a card I like that much. But his deck overall is not bad. Let's see if there's any... I doubt there's going to be any improvements. Metronome plays a lot of limited, but let's see if he's missed anything. So he's got some card draw in there. Does he have any card draw? I would maybe not run Power, like, at least I would run both. And I'd run maybe like Battle Agenda. Not a whole lot else, right? Really? So, Triple Abominate. Yeah. He's just really lacking in the low drops, as you can see here. He's got a lot of... just not enough in the... so, yeah. Yeah, I would cut one of them for Battle Agenda or something like that, maybe. But yeah, he just didn't really have the low drops in the colors he wanted to be in. Like, he wants to be in these colors because he has some really good cards. Librarian's good, you know, really good removal, Cyclone Shaman and all that. Tongue Breeder as well, actually. But yeah. Well, that'll do for now. So yeah, I'm gonna... I'll be doing this each week, and I'll go through. I'll work out a way in which I can do this a bit better. But what I plan to do is also I'll get on a guest. Maybe someone from from the same guild I'm in, Dragonborn. And we can go through decks and just have a look to see if there's ways in which they can be improved. But yeah, so again, hexpvptools.net is the website. A lot of information can be gained from this. Can very much help if you're new to Hex. Highly recommend checking it out. If you're wanting to jump into Constructed, you've got ladder, meta, you got history of tournaments and all that sort of stuff. So definitely check it out. Even just looking to see what people are doing. If you're wanting to jump in the Clash, for example, you've got you can look at all the decks. You can look at the ones that won, but then down the very bottom here, you've got all this information. What champions, win percentage with champions. So we can see here. I was saying about Fariko, right, being so good. You can actually see here, out of the 12 decks that ran it, got a 60% win rate. So pretty good performance level. Is it the highest? I guess no. You've got 4 people running Renner. So Renner's not bad too, but not enough of a sample size really for some of these bigger numbers. I guess it was sorting by the... So Zorzum was picked the most, it seems. But yeah, so Fariko with a pretty good win percent. Talks, a bit surprising that I guess there's only 2 decks, never mind. So yeah, you got all that information. You can then have a look at also the performance level of cards. So what you want to obviously look at is the number, right? So you can see a lot of people running Blood Ice, but that's not that relevant. But Perfigy, right? So 50 of those ran in all the different decks, 38 decks, and 52% win rate. With that, it gives you the performance level. So yeah, as I was saying, Perfigy's a fantastic card. That's the one that removes a troop and adds 4 spiders. So very, very good value. What's the highest performing card here? Now obviously there's that, but I'm not gonna. It's just a rank card. Let's have a look. So I guess we want to look at the number again. I want to look at stuff where there's a lot. So Scarm Breath being really good removal in Ruby. It's at 55, but yeah, so Perfigy's still really, really high up there. But yeah, all that sort of stuff there you can look at. But yeah, that's the website. Again, as I said, I'll do this each week, and maybe I'll probably think of other ways. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to comment in this video of things I could maybe talk about. But yeah, that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and take care. G'day Hexes, Havoc here, and today I bring you a Kismet draft. So I've just joined it, and I've got myself a Runia Hierophant. It has gone down in value quite a lot because it's going to rotate out soon, but it's still easily the pick here for me. It is a very powerful card that I need to suck in. So yeah, Kismet draft is a draft format that is currently happening within Hex, and basically has a lot of cards from a lot of different sets. So we've got this is a set 4 card. We've got another set 4 card. This is a current set. This is set